Hello, everyone. Welcome to class today. I'm glad you could all find the live stream. Just like I did today, I will post the live stream link before every one of our live streams that we'll be doing. Today's live stream probably won't be that long because this week we're just examining some of the orientation material, and I'm going to give you some important information, things that you need to know about our Blackboard course and all of that kind of fun stuff. As we're getting started with this class. So we'll switch to the full screen really quickly so you all can see this a little bit better. When you log into the course, you will land on the announcements page. This is one of the best ways that I can communicate with everybody at one time, is by sending out announcements. And I'm going to post a lot of the stuff in the announcements. You know, when we're done with this live stream today, I will put this live stream video in the announcements so that the people who weren't able to join us live today can watch it later. So that's why I'll be posting the links to these live streams and the recordings of these live streams after they're done. Before I get into much else, let me just talk about the purpose of these live streams for a minute. I know I mentioned it in the course, but I'd like to mention it again. You know, we're in an online class, we're doing all this stuff, but oftentimes one of the negative parts about being in an online class is that you can't really ask a whole lot of questions or interact and things like that when things are going on, right? It's normally just, oh, you know, we're going to watch this video that our instructor made and we're going to do the work, and that's all. And if I have a question, maybe I'll email them, maybe I won't, whatever. But in this case, it at least gives some people the opportunity, you know, if you're able to attend these live streams, to come and ask questions in the chat. I am monitoring the chat, so if you throw some questions or whatever in there, I'll see them and I'll be able to answer them for you. So we have that. The ability to do that, so let's take advantage of it while we can. So from here, let's jump on into what I really want to do today, which is examine some of the things in our Begin Here module in a little more depth, and make a few points, like I said again. So the purpose of this course is so that you learn a little bit about computers, right? And your need of using computers is going to be a little different depending on who you are, what you're going to do after you graduate, what kind of career field you want to get in. You know, some of you might need to use computers more than others, but really in this modern world that we're living in, it's getting to the point where everybody needs to use a computer for some purpose or another, regardless of what you do for work. That's kind of the way that we communicate nowadays, is we get on the computer and we talk to other people that way. I mean, it's become especially relevant here recently with everything that's been going on. And, you know, the fact that we're able to get online right now and do this live stream. And I can talk to you all and you can hear me as I'm saying it in my office. That's pretty significant. So the goal behind this course, as we go through, you might say, well, why do I need to learn that? What's so important about that? Like, I'll never need to know how to change a processor in my computer. I mean, we won't be going that far, but just as an example, like, this stuff, some of this stuff seems really irrelevant to me, is basically the point I'm trying to make here. So when you think about some of the stuff that seems irrelevant to you, I want to tell you why you should maybe take a little more of a serious thought toward all of that stuff. Because we do live in this digital world, whether it's in your business or at home. And the ability to do some of these things, while you may never fix your computer yourself, if you have an understanding about everything that's going on inside of the computer and all of the software and the things that you use on your computer, then at the very least, you're able to communicate the things that you need more quickly and easier with somebody who might be fixing your computer, right? So, maybe you'll move on and maybe you'll get interested in IT and you might want to learn even more. Maybe you're like, okay, this is my only computer class and then I'm going to stop just because they're making me take this computer class. But either way, I'd like for you to have the ability to communicate these ideas that we're going to be learning. Because really, what it boils down to is, every minute, every hour, whatever, that you're not able to use your computer at work or at home, that means something that you're not able to do that you might want to do. If you're not able to use your computer at work, then you or your company can't make money. If you're not able to use your computer at home, then you can't do the things that you want to do. You can't blow off steam on the internet after work. You can't communicate with your loved ones that you might do via like Skype or Zoom or what have you. So these are barriers to things that we want to do, like make money and talk to our friends. So being able to explain these things can help speed up the amount of time it takes between having our computer broken and having our computer fixed, and get us to back where we want to be quicker. So everything here is relevant, even if you don't think it is. But as I go through the Begin Here module, I'd like to point out a few things to you. The first thing is I've also pointed this out in our welcome video, is this enrollment verification activity. I need you to do that first, right? That's the thing that I use to determine your status in the course. If you don't do this by the specified date, then it's basically just like, well, you never showed up to class to begin with, so you could very well get dropped from the course. So this is the very first thing that I need you to do before you progress to anything else. I'm reiterating this again because it is that important if you want to stay in this course and you want to get credit for this course so you can continue on and graduate and get you a good job. This is the very first step on that journey, is completing this enrollment verification activity. The Getting Started here has a bunch of information about various different things, about campus contacts, who to call on campus, if you want to talk to somebody at the library, if you want to talk to the help desk. All this stuff is in here in the campus contacts. So you can kind of progress through and see all that stuff. We also have information about e-support, the things that you need there. And it also gives you some tutorials about how to use a few things on Blackboard, how to submit assignments, how to use the discussion board, how you can see your grades, and all that kind of stuff. So if you aren't as familiar with Blackboard, this might be a good start for you. If you've used Blackboard before, you can just kind of skip this by. I've got my syllabus right here. So the syllabus is a standard syllabus. It includes all of the information we need for this semester. A lot of stuff. Now, what I did, because as you can see, there's a whole lot of words in here. What I did was I took the most pertinent information out of here and I put it in this Begin Here section. So you can go reading through the syllabus on your own time, but all of the most important stuff, I took it out of the syllabus and put it in this Begin Here section so that you can find it easier. Like, for example, my contact information, which is the next thing here. I've got my email, I've got my office phone number, and I've got my office location here. That's 3204A in Paxoy building. That's on the top floor of the Paxoy building. So if you need to stop by and talk to me at some point, you can do so. And you can do so during my student hours. That's the times when I will definitely be in my office and available to you all. So if you want to stop by and talk to me during any one of these student hours, you are welcome to. Maybe you're on campus for another class. Maybe you're here for just some reason. you're able to do that. I'm most easiest to get in touch with via email outside of these student hours. Because, I'm, teaching classes, I'm going to meetings that I have to go to. I'm kind of in and out of the office otherwise. So if it's not during the student hours, I won't be here, so I won't be able to answer my phone. But I will probably be somewhere near my email. And at the very least, I have a record of your contact so I can answer it as soon as I get back. Also, all of my student hours, in case you don't want to come to campus, or maybe you live a little further away from Cleveland Community College, because I know some students do. So if you don't really want to come to campus, or you're unable to come to campus and you want to talk to me, another way you can do that is via Microsoft Teams. All of my student hours are also virtual student hours, because you can contact me via Microsoft Teams. This video here walks you through how to get to Microsoft Teams and how to use Microsoft Teams if you've never used it before. But with this software, we can have we can have a back and forth chat. We can have an audio call if we need to have it. I can even look at your computer screen if you're having some sort of specific issue that you think maybe I can help with. So it's a good tool that we can use. And, it's there if you want that option. The live online class information right here. We already know that because we're in it. Assignment due dates. The due dates and pacing. So right now, on this, ever since the course opened, back this past Monday, on the very first day of class, you had this information here. These are your due dates for all of your assignments for all of the semester. And it has the module name and it has the date on when the assignments are due. And I would like for all the assignments in that particular module are due by that due date. The only thing that's really kind of different is the final exam. You'll have until noon on the last day of class to complete the final exam. After noon, I have to start finalizing grades and getting them ready. So there's that. Got a couple important videos here about accessing the material and some assignment name discrepancies. Going to request that you take the time to watch those. That tells you how to use your Paradigm access code to get the book. And it tells you about some grade book weirdness in this video, where the assignments in the grade book don't quite match up with the assignments that are listed, in name. But this video explains that, so if you watch that. Communication protocol, assignment rubric for things that aren't auto-graded. A little bit of netiquette information here. Since we're all trying to be good citizens of the internet and we're going to be having discussions and we're going to be, attending these live streams and all that stuff, it's important to understand a little bit of netiquette and being a good online citizen. So that's something that's important. Some more information about the help desk here, about the library, about access and accommodations if you need it. I have this video here that I've included that's just about succeeding in online courses. If you've never taken an online course before, or you're a little apprehensive about online courses, or if you've just not maybe done that well in online courses before, especially, this video here gives you some tips and tricks to try to get you a little better in an online course. So make sure you watch that. Some more information about submitting assignments. Student email assignment. I just want to make sure that you know how to use your email. Since this is an Introduction to Computers course, there's an understanding that some of you might not. So we do this right now so we can see, if everything's cool. So I've already received emails from a few people. Want to make sure that everybody gets this done before the due date on Sunday. Because, we'll have to do some other stuff if I don't get one from you. So let's make sure we do this by end of day Sunday when the assignments are due for this Begin Here module. A little more information about using the discussion board and our introduction discussion board. So I want to know about you, because if we're going to be spending time together in this class, if I'm going to be working with you, I'd like to know who I'm working with, and I'm sure you'd like to meet your other classmates, since we're going to be having discussions that involve actually discussing things with other people online. So let's make sure you do that. And then finally, the orientation quiz. So that means we have 3 graded assignments out of this Begin Here module. This email, this discussion board, and this orientation quiz. Those are the 3 things that get a grade out of the Begin Here module. So these are the things that you need to make sure that you have completed, in addition to the enrollment verification activity, but you already did that first, right? So if you're wondering, well, what do I need to complete in a module? Well, let's jump over to Module 1 to look at this. So Module 1 starts on next Monday, and it'll continue through the Sunday after. So this is Module 1. It's called Living in a Digital World. It's kind of an introduction to what we're going to be talking about throughout the entire semester. And so you might be thinking, well, what all is graded? How do I know what is a graded assignment in my Blackboard course and what is not a graded assignment in my Blackboard course? Well, I have these little table of contents at the top of every module. And in these table of contents, you'll see that graded assignments are represented here with an asterisk. So everything that has an asterisk beside it has a grade attached to it. So you can see here in Module 1, the only things that aren't graded are the topics review and the crossword puzzle. The things that, you do to just kind of refresh your knowledge, make sure you know what you think you need to know before you take that chapter exam. Even the reading has a grade attached to it. And I'll click that link so we can see it. So if you're using the digital textbook, this is where you'll come to do the reading. And you have all your introduction and all your content. We'll open these in different tabs so we can see them here. Your introduction and all your content, and this is where you do your reading. So you read through all that. And then after you've read everything, you can click this attempt button right here. And that will open up the quiz for the reading. So every reading section has a reading check quiz. Every video has a video check section of questions. So even something like these videos here, you watch the video, and then you have a little quiz that you'll do just to prove to me that you watched the video. Now, there are certain things that have open-ended responses to them, and this is fairly important. This is something that I need to make a definite mention to you all right now. For assignments like this, let's explore what new technology is occurring in your field of study. For assignments like this is an open-ended assignment, right? Like when we look at the attempt here, we have boxes to where we can fill out paragraphs or a place where we can upload files. So while most of the things that are just like multiple choice questions oriented, those things get graded automatically. And you get to see the grade that you made on that assignment immediately. With these things that are open-ended, like this Module 1, Topic 1.4, let's explore what new technology is occurring in your field of study. These things I have to grade manually, and I'll grade them after the due date. So when you first do this, this is critical. This is something to remember so you don't panic. When you first do this and complete it and submit it, it will show in your grade book as a 0. That does not mean you've gotten a 0. That means it is waiting to be graded. You get a 0 because you don't have any points assigned for it yet. So once I grade it, that 0 will be replaced with whatever grade you earned on that assignment. Hopefully 100. Right? So that's something to keep in mind as you're doing these assignments. I know that, you do the assignment, you put in all this hard work to it, you hit submit, and then you go look and you got a 0 on it, and that doesn't seem right, and that's because it's not right. Just remember that. Remember not to panic, because once I grade it, that 0 will be changed. I just have to grade it. So that's super important, something to remember there. One more thing really to point out while we're hanging out on this topic is the discussion board. So in order to successfully complete the discussion board, you have to do 2 things. 1, you have to create your thread that answers the question. So you have to make your initial thread. And 2, you have to respond to at least 2 of your classmates' threads that they've made. And you can't see the responses that anybody else has made until you make your initial thread. And as we see here in the discussion board assignment section, I want you to create your initial thread at least 2 days before the end of the module. So if the module's due on a Sunday, that means I want your initial thread by the Friday before. I do this so you can have time to go look at everybody's threads and reply to their threads. Right? Like if I didn't say, oh, you have to make your thread 2 days before, everybody would wait to the last minute on Sunday to do it. Then when you did it, you might not have anybody else's threads to reply to, and you might miss out on replies. So really, if you make your initial thread as early as possible, you're going to be better off in these discussions because you'll have more time to look at other people's threads after you've created yours and make your responses so you can fully receive credit for that assignment, because the points really drop dramatically if you don't fully complete the assignment by making your thread and making 2 other threads or 2 other posts to go along with it. And there is a discussion board rubric that goes along with this that we use to grade it, and you'll want to look at that as well before as we get into this. But that's more or less, I believe, everything that I need to explain to you. So if you're doing, when you do the reading, when you watch a video, remember to go back and answer the questions, because that's a requirement. You need to answer those questions. That brings up something else to mind. If you are one of the people who chose the printed textbook, because we gave you all options as to what to purchase, whether you just wanted a digital code or you wanted the printed textbook that comes with the digital code. If you opted for the printed textbook, don't forget that you still have to come here and answer these questions in this reading. You just skip all of this topic stuff here because you're not doing that. You're reading it in your printed textbook and then going and answering the questions. So if you just got the digital code, this is the same textbook material as those who got the printed textbook. We just like to give people options because, some people like to have that physical book that they can hold in their hands. Makes reading a whole lot easier for them. Maybe a little less eye strain, that sort of thing. So it's fairly critical that, you remember to go back here and answer these questions if you chose to read in the book, if you got the printed copy of the book. So read, answer the questions, watch the video, answer the questions. These Let's Explorers and Job Connects, they're open-ended. So you go in there and you add your response, and then when I grade them, they change from a 0 to whatever you earned. The discussion, make your thread 2 days before the end, at least 2 days before the end of the module. And make sure you respond to at least 2 of your classmates. Our topics reviews and crossword puzzles are just for review. Going back, having a look over some key topics, and, we have a crossword puzzle because, it's just something that you can have a little fun with and learn some stuff while you're having fun. So these 2 reviews here are not graded, but they will definitely help you out in terms of doing your chapter exam if you read the topic review and do the crossword puzzle. So I think that's everything in a nutshell. And so, like I said, with this first week, the live stream is going to be a little bit shorter. I don't really like to go longer than about 45 minutes for one of these live streams, just because I know that we all, you all have lives and you want to get back to them. So I don't like to go any more than about 45 minutes in these things. So I think that's where we can stop here for today, because I think I got everything done. Remember to get all your begin here important stuff done by Sunday at midnight. Sunday the 6th of September at midnight. If you have any questions about anything, just contact me, email me. I'll point you in the right direction. Some of you have already emailed me with questions, and you know that I'll, do my best to answer them. So with that being said, I will hang out in the chat for a minute or 2 longer, just in case anybody in the chat has a question that needs to be answered. But that's all that I have for you for today. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.
Imagination.